Even my yellow is because of its cadmium yellow. It's so sharp and warm. It's okay because we have warm color here, but inside the moon, we have a little bit movement and brush stroke of yellow color, but it's not exactly sharp like that. So we can mix a little bit yellow with white color before adding on our moon. A little bit white, lots of, sorry, a little bit yellow, lots of white. You can mix it and reach the creamy yellowy color, so something like that, which is good for inside our moon. This color, it's moved toward warm yellow. And then clean your palette knife, start. Now we have an idea about the yellowy part, which is here. And now I move toward this creamy color to add on the center. I know most of the part should be white, but it's okay. Around I will go with this yellowy white color to cover it, and I prefer to have really heavy paint in my painting to cover the surface, and I would like to see brush stroke in my acrylic paint. It's so lovely to see brush stroke. And for the edges, I prefer to let the yellow mix with this white color and give me this smooth surface. When the yellow is wet and you bring the yellowy white color on top, they easily mix into each other, blending together and fade. And no edges create. But when one of the colors get dry and you add the other color on top, the edges create and the line between them create, so you cannot make them very nice fade. You see here, it's both really nice fading together. Adding yellow and white, let it mix into each other very gently. And then I move on to the center. Heavy paint, move on to the center. And in between, I will bring pure yellow, pure white color as well, because the most part should be pure white color. But it's lovely to have a yellowy, creamy inside that. It's a moon, and we have some playing between the stroke to see some white and creamy yellowy color inside that. And the shape is circular, so it's better to go like a curved stroke, like that. This is good for left side. And take your paint from the other side. It's okay to go like that. Even for top, you can add like this. The bottom, you can go like that. So make it circular. Even your brush stroke, it's better to move like circular shape, because after finish the painting, we can see all this stroke on top. So it's okay to go like circular movement or curve movement, not straight. And I love to have heavy texture on top and see all these stroke. Yeah, and we see some yellowy part in between. So we can bring this warm yellow here. Even you can let it dry if it's really wet, and then on top you can bring some light tone as a yellow movement of. So I move on with pure yellow color, but I'm sure not to move it inside the moon. I would like to keep this light color be the same, but with pure yellow, I will go outside, and a little bit more than that, I make it colorful because I would like to have it a wet surface. When I bring, if you see here, it's lovely transition, move into the orange, and then line doesn't create between them. So I keep my yellow completely wet to reach that transition. Pure yellow around the moon, Even you can go further a little bit, it doesn't matter. After that, even we need to have more yellow on the bottom part. After that, we switch to orange. The surface is still wet, so I would like to mix my orange with yellow. I don't want to have a separation between these two, even if it's not happen again, back to yellow. Add here, making in between just a bit lighter tone. And always you need to play with your hand pressure. If you add more pressure, it's easy to lift up your paint. If you add less pressure and touch your surface really smoothly, it's so easy to control your painting. The color actually. Or even napkin in my hand, always it's good to not let this color, orange color, move into my yellow. It's like playing very smoothly. Try to make a curve. You can focus on one part and then the others. I go with dark orange from out of my surface, out of my moon actually. And then when I move on into the close to the moon, clean my brush, pure yellow, and then from orange I move into the yellow, and from yellow I move into the orange. So they gently touch and fade into each other. Sometimes it shows that it's a little bit challenging, but if you make wet the surface and always clean your brush with napkin, not the water, you can handle it. So I take my black color, I go with the smaller brush, and I just go with just some measuring. I measure my top of pumpkin. I'm interested to have my pumpkin here. It plays on this part. So I draw one line here, and I imagine if I go like that here and there, the other two sides, it's better to place very gently. You can go with not line, just one dot. I place it here. I imagine this part is here. It's okay to come like that. This part. It's find me more easy to have an idea where should we place the whole shape of my pumpkin on my canvas, because I don't want to draw my pumpkin small size or really big size. And this pumpkin is not really visible. Half of it is visible, and it's okay to move on here, the top part. And this part pumpkin, it's good to go like here, like that. Okay. So this big part, it's for my first pumpkin. Now I have an idea about the size. I try to draw it very gently. One curved line. I go like that. And then move on here to reach this side. The top of my pumpkin, not really circly shape, a little bit straight on here. And then with nice and gentle C curve, come down. Bring it down here and then reach this part. Even I feel more happy to add some more space on this part. Make it a little bit bigger. Yes, I'm more happy with that. I'm not worried about the thickness of my line because everything should be black. So I'm happy with this top of the pumpkin. And then I draw the other. It's passed from this part of my surface or canvas or paper, doesn't matter which one, and then reach here. This is another one. Like this. And the other top part is here. Reach this part of my paper. So they're all three of them. The top of them are draw. They're connect to each other, so we cannot see the bottom part. But I imagine this is for the first one, should be. Just in imagination. But we will color them in black. I'll just go with that to draw the place of eyes and mouth and the details on top. So I go with the first one first. They look like a triangle, but it's shaping like that. I go like this, a little curvy here, and a curvy here. This is the first eye. The other is like that. Again, curve, nice curve. It looks like triangle, but a curved triangle. And then small triangle for the nose. Now for the mouth, I would like to make it simple first. So it's just one curve on top and one C curve on the bottom. So I go with one curve on top like that. And one C curve on the bottom. Like shouting. This is the whole shape of the mouth. And then we can add more details inside. The details is the teeth that you can see. It's like a square, it comes out like that. One of them is shorter, one of them is longer. This is a smaller, this is a little bit beside that, it's longer. You can keep some space between them and then add one by one each teeth. I have more space here and then move on this one, smaller one. And exactly beside that, it's longer and bigger. In details, it's much more easy to go with round brush and the pointy brush. Now we move on. This side, I see a smaller square. This one a little bit move longer. And the bigger one. And then on center, smaller. Here, it's look like not a square, it look like a rectangle, a little bit longer. This is shorter. And one small here. And the rest we will just cover it by black. I edit the shape of the eyes. And then we can color it by regular black. I prefer to finish the other faces too and then color it, or you can add a black color here too. Let me just finish this one and then move on the rest. So take your flat brush after you finish the details. Just solid black, cover your pumpkin. I try my best to add the tone around the pumpkin, look like the curve, because it's a pumpkin. Pumpkin is round and curvy. But when I close to the details of features, I try my best to be more accurate and not to go inside. Now for the stem, it's a start from here. It's nice curve, comes up, turn it like that. And then move it here a little bit thicker. So when it's connect to the pumpkin, it's more thicker. But when it's moved up, it's more narrow. And then you can turn it towards right. Again, C curve. Just use the C curve shape, circle one, and then draw this one. I think it's fine. And then the cat place here on top. It's like triangle, the shape of the eyes, but just a bit circly, curvy. This one pointy and this one curvy. Like that. It's look like the wing of butterfly. Here. Tiny triangle for nose. And then the mouth is big like that. one C curve here and one C curve the other side. And then you can add the dark color here, another C curve. And then the fifth is just like triangle. So we move on. One tiny triangle reach here. The other is longer. A little bit, color it. More space in between, and then the other side we see one long and one short. Then on the bottom part, narrow and long here. This is long and narrow here. Long and narrow here. Shorter and a little bit fat here. So these are about the tip of this pumpkin. And then we can add a tone around. Just let me finish the tip or the stem as well. The facing of the circly way on the other side is. So I go with the top, gentle C curve, move it here and then move it down like that. Then fill it here, and when it's reached the bottom part or the top of my pumpkin, it's get a little bit thicker. So for cover the surface, we can go with a little bit bigger brush, more easy to fill in between. And then add a pure black around your pumpkin, around the features of your pumpkin. Pure black color we have. This one, the eyes is just a bit like, look like the others is triangle, but more curvy. And it's not like butterfly. The shape is like that. Comes up, down, but a nice curve, connect them together like a curve. So another one, it's here. Curve, connect there, curve, connect to each other. The nose of all trees are small triangle. The mouth of this is like a zigzaggy shape. So start from one part, one line, small zigzaggy comes up. So we can move on and make the zigzaggy shape a little bit longer, like here, there, here, there, and make it short like that. And then we would like to see inside. So another zigzag we need to follow, but keep some space in between. So I reach these two together, make the zigzaggy line a little longer. Some space, follow the same shape that we had, but we need some space to keep to show that inside the mouth. And then the last one, connect them together like that. Then we will add a tone everywhere, but before that, the stem or tail of the pumpkin on top. It's like, first of all, I go like with a simple line like that. It's another details here, and then reach to my pumpkin. It's look like this, but a little bit more thicker on the bottom part when I reach, and a little bit thicker on the top part. You can draw one circle here and add a curved line to reach that, like that. And then with the flat brush, add a tone everywhere, but not to go inside the features. And I try to add this tone, look like curved line, because I know that my brush stroke be visible after it gets drawn. Very gently add your stroke beside each zigzaggy shape of the mouth, not to go inside. I would like to, between this space and a little bit in the space on top, so I go one gentle sticker for the body, which is here, this one sticker. Another sticker is a little bit on top. So now I have an idea about the body of my cat. Then I draw this C curve here, bring it down. This is 1 foot. And I will bring here down to another foot. It's better a little bit thicker here and narrow when you touch the pumpkin. Because of the shape of his foot, it's better to be thicker here and a little narrow the other part. And even we can follow the other curve as well. And when you draw like that, it's better to come close to this foot here. And make narrow this part. Pointy brush, it's so helpful to draw the curved line and come down like that. And I connect these two together with another curve. The rest is just filled with the paint. And then the other part of the body look like here. I will go with another curve on top. Here I fill this in between. And then I separate the foot. And continue to reach the pumpkin, but try to close to the other foot. And bring it a little narrow line. Both sides should be narrow. But when you reach the pumpkin, it's better to be more narrow. Sometimes it happens, sometimes no, but that's fine if it's all on the same size. This is about the body. And now the hat and tail is left. So two curved line, and then with just one curve, you can connect them together for the foot and the hand. When you finish with this, I know the head is circular shape, but I don't want to draw it as a circle. I just go with the one C curve here, start from here, continue. Another C curve should be there. Bring it up. And then make another curve on the top of cat head, like here. And add a little bit pointy on both sides as the ear. The eyes are red. You can color it by black and then bring the red on top. More easy. Because it's a small part, it's not easy to separate those. So I color all these on black, and then with the red I will come on top and add two shape of the eye on top. Now it's a cat face. And again, your brush is back to the pointy part. Then take some paint. The tail is a start from here. This part, then you can move up, make a curve. Very gently bring it up. Just nice C curve, comes down. Go inside. You can start with the narrow line and then make it a little bit thicker. Like that. Now I know it should be thicker than this. Again. Back this section. I try my best not to go and back. It's more easy to go just one time to cover it. It's more clean, but sometimes it's not happen. And when it's connect to the body, it should be a little thicker. So it's connect and then it's has a little thicker. The other color on top. So I will go a little bit down, draw oval shape.